This is Shy,
And this is Megan,
and this is the Magical Happy Hour.
a podcast where we share a love for Disney, theme parks, travel tips, food.
And anything else we feel like talking about.
It's episode 29? I don't know. Yes, okay, good. And we have a very special guest this episode. I think this has been much anticipated. And thank you so much for being here, Tim, or at Wheels on Main.
Yeah, that's good. I was like, yeah, I think that's my name.
We're so excited that we're able to all get together today to have this chat. So thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me. It's been a highlight of my month, just waiting for this to happen. So
Us too.
so
Us too.
So thank you.
Amazing. Yes. And we will have lots to talk about with Tim in just a moment. But of course, like always, we'll start off with some news.
Yeah. So I recently heard that Disney posted a new casting position for a new role, hiring for a vocalist, which is really exciting. I think that the consensus is that it's going to be for something in the Hyperion, hopefully.
That would be really cool if that's what it is. Disney Live Entertainment, I did see the post after you told me about it, and it definitely looks like it's for the parks. I didn't see anything specified like where or what necessarily, but there is a full description out there if you're a vocalist and looking to work for Disney and in a park instead of maybe like a cruise line or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I haven't seen the posting myself, but I think it mentions Anaheim specifically. Did you see that?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, so exciting. We desperately need live entertainment. We talk about that pretty frequently on the show. So we need somewhere to put everyone. We need a new show in the Hyperion. It's been like a year and a half since they had Rogers. Was that what it was called? Rogers the Musical?
Yeah, that must have been the last one. I missed it. I didn't see it, so
I didn't see it either. Did you get to see it, Tim?
I didn't because the queue kept closing, and I'm like, I'll just watch it on YouTube.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, it seems like kind of tricky to try to get in to see it.
Yeah, I know when I came early to try to see it, the queue was already closed. Like in the morning, and I'm like, I didn't even have a second to even try to do it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, hopefully this next one we'll all get to go.
Yes.
Can't wait to find out who that vocalist is. Guess we'll all see.
It will be me. I'm just kidding.
Plot twist.
That's actually why you're here.
I'm like, yeah, you can't tell anybody.
Next piece of news. As of, I almost said January, as of February 8th, the red car trolley will be closed. But this does mean that we'll be, starting that expansion on Avengers Campus, which is very exciting. It looks like red car trolley is going away to make room for Stark Flight Lab. And then also recently the Timon lot, which is located, it's like situated behind Guardians and behind Radiator Springs, and that closed as well. So development could begin in the area where Infinity Defense is going to be.
Oh wow! I didn't know they closed down the whole parking lot for that. Wow.
Yeah, I think it's a staff lot now.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that attraction is going to take up that whole area necessarily. I don't know how much even any of that is decided on, but it's happening. Something's happening.
That's exciting. I mean, imagine they put Coco back there
instead.
Oh my gosh.
Honestly, for how that Avengers Campus has gone back and forth and upside down and changed and turned inside out, really, who knows?
I feel like sometimes that area is like dead, and sometimes it's not, and it's always in between. Like it's never like hyped up. It's always just kind of like there's Guardians, and Spider-Man.
Yeah, and web slingers.
And Spider-Man.
That ride makes me exhausted. When I'm just like doing this, I'm like, ah.
You get a workout for sure.
You really do. I work off that cold brew and all the food. I just go on that.
Yep. You just go to Pim's and then work it on off afterward.
I know, I was going to say.
Or you can be like Megan and aggressively toss your glasses out of the ride vehicle.
I didn't toss them. Tossing them makes it sound like I threw them at the screen. I was so into the ride. I flicked it off my face.
And I didn't realize that the car is completely open. So like the glasses flew out of the car.
Oh yeah, no, I was just full on blindly shooting then at it because you can't.
Whatever you can.
Yeah, just going for it.
That's a mood.
Persevere no matter what.
I love that.
I'm really excited for Stark Flight Lab. I honestly don't have that many feelings about Infinity Defense, but I'm really curious about what that's going to be because the ride system looks, it looks fun at least.
It's not like the one in Hong Kong, right? Like the Star Tours, it's not going to be like that, right?
I don't know anything about Hong Kong Star Tours.
Well, they have their own version of Star Tours, but with like Iron Man. And it's kind of like that, yeah.
What?
Yeah. It sounds like that's what it was going to be, but I don't know. So,
We'll have to wait and see, but I wouldn't be surprised because they like to pull their ideas from other places and drop them other places, so.
I feel like that would like be the best way to do like Iron Man, just like a simulation kind of thing.
I'm gonna have to look for some like ride tours or something online because that sounds very interesting. I'd like to see it either way.
It's pretty cool. It's all in like Chinese, so I was like, I'm gonna pretend I understand this. And I'm like, hey, that's Iron Man. That's all I know.
I know Iron Man.
Yeah, I'm like Iron Man. That's him.
There he is. Our last piece of news, or maybe not the last, but I'm gonna say that I'm so excited about this. Hopefully you guys saw this today. But the cannons in Rise of the Resistance are working again.
I never thought I would see that get fixed.
No, literally.
I thought it was just going to be like one of those things where they're like, oh, it's broke, so let's just keep it that way.
Like, I thought they were the equivalent of the Yeti at this point.
Yeah.
Oh,
extinct.
No, a lot of content creators I know came today just to check it out. A lot of people are just going to do that and leaving. And I'm like, that's dedication. Wow.
I truly, but I'm not that in, like, I like Rise. I think it's awesome, especially with people who don't go that often or like haven't been on it. I am so excited to ride it next time. Incredibly excited.
Kind of on that, I wanted to kind of pick your guys' brain a little bit about Tiana's Bayou Adventure because a lot of the animatronics don't work.
I went last week and everything was broken.
Yeah.
Like,
What?
Tiana in the beginning was frozen. Lewis was like just looking like that the whole ride. Then Mama Odie was just broken too. Like everybody was broken except the animals and everyone at the end scene. But Tiana was just broken.
Yeah.
Like so. I'm like, and then I saw a video where her mouth was like cracking on the side. And then so I'm like, it's kind of sad to see it all break down so fast, but it's been less than a year.
It opened in like November.
I was going to say we're all in California, so we're like only talking about the California part.
Yeah.
Right? I still haven't been on it.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh my God.
I've only been to, I haven't been to Disneyland since October, right, Shai? It was the first day of the Halloween season, whenever that was.
That's been a while then. I thought you came after that, but I guess...
It's California Adventure.
Yeah, I was in
DCA.
DCA.
I mean, I will say that Florida, our version is way better than Florida.
Really?
Like, story-wise, it's not rushed. Because Florida, you just kind of like fly through it. But Tiana's has space to let you hear, to let you feel like you're going in a story. Florida's just kind of like, okay, that's it, you're done. So,
okay.
I've ridden it 2 or 3 times now. The first time that I rode it, which was opening weekend in November, I felt like I was flying through. Like I felt like they were making it go so fast just to try to circle more people through it. But I've noticed that it's since slowed down a little bit. The boats weren't going quite as fast, and I could see things a little bit better. I don't know if that's in my head, but that's what it felt like at least. But it is really, really disappointing that with the technology that they've put into this attraction and with the constant like ride breakdowns, I'm like, are they not, are they closing the ride when these attractions aren't working? No, because we've both been on it and noticed that that the animatronics aren't working. Are they having issues with the boats? Like, why is it breaking down so frequently, and why are these brand new animatronics that they spent a lot of money on not working? Like, it's kind of sad going through the ride, like knowing its potential and seeing these animatronics not even work.
I mean, I feel bad for the people who come from all over who don't live in California, who like expect to see what they've seen on the video, and they ride it. They're like everything is just half working or broken fully, and it's like it ruins the experience because that first impression of the ride is just kind of like the worst. I feel like
it's kind of lame.
Those people could have spent their time doing something else instead of being disappointed by a ride that they had one expectation of and got another.
You know, I know when preview week was happening, because we went the first time we went, the ride broke down for 4.5 hours. And people were waiting in front of the ride, and all the cast members like, please do something else. Like, you can come back. And no one was moving because they're like, it was closing at, I think, 9 p.m. that night, and it was like 6. And then people were like, I came all the way from like New York or something to ride this. I want to go on this right now. And they were like, well, it's broken. And I was just like, it was a headache, I will say.
That stinks. Yeah. I can't imagine, like, you plan your trip around this new ride,
and then it just the worst experience that you can get. It's just
you don't even, those people probably didn't even get to ride it and wasted time standing there for hours hoping for it to open.
And getting a queue when it was previews was a nightmare. I remember I woke up at like 6 o'clock and I waited an hour just to be in the queue, and it went away in like a millisecond. That's how fast it was. So just imagining all of that bundled up and then getting there and it's broken, it's just, I'm like, Disney, do better. Like, I don't understand like what's happening. So
like, you have the money. The parks are so expensive. Like, you cannot charge that much and not have things available to who's there spending the money.
Exactly,
right.
And then right now the monorail's closed down, the train station's closed, a bunch of stuff is closed because of the anniversary, I'm guessing, happening this year. But I'm like, there's so much like down and getting refurbished or getting fixed up, and there's tapestry all over Main Street and everything. And I'm like, I mean, I get that it's refurbishment like season and stuff, but it looks like a mess, honestly.
Well, and it feels like we're always in refurbishment season lately. Like,
exactly.
Like there's always something, like it's like Walcott, like where like there's always walls up somewhere. Like there's always something, which I'm glad they are. It's tricky because I'm glad that they are investing in like working into the park, but it just feels like the frequency has really increased, and it's not fun when you only get to go once a year and everything's covered by scaffolding and whatever.
No, I mean, the train opened for like a month and then it closed again. And I put a video out about the train because I'm like, oh, it's going to be open, then it closed again. And it's not opening until March. And I'm like, what happened? It's been like a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So it's just a disappointment with all the money we're spending on taxes. And
Oh my gosh, yeah.
God, don't even get me started on that. That's a whole other episode.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, please. Jeez Louise. And it can be.
No, I mean, Florida gets free parking, but we don't. I don't understand that. They get free parking with their passes.
We get
And
free
then-
parking. Well, you get free parking with the Inspire key. I think that's the only one though.
I have student loans, so
You're like, I ain't got that one, girl.
Well,
I park at Toy Story lot, and I get like 15%. So you know what? I'll take it.
Yeah.
yeah.
You gotta take what you can get from the mouse.
Yeah, honestly. Come on, Mickey.
I'm just like parking cannot. I mean, I'm sure they make so much money off of parking, but like, I don't know. That just seems ridiculous that you have to have, because it's only the highest pass, right, or the most expensive one.
Yeah.
Like at least back in the day, like you got it for like the two highest or whatever, and then
Yeah.
it was like 50% off for everyone else.
Like still a good deal.
Like
for the
it's still
lower-
a good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now it's just like we're giving you this 15% discount just to say we're giving you a discount.
Yeah.
It's
Just
not
to
really
appease
helpful.
everybody, basically. They're like, oh, look, you
Exactly.
get something. And I'm like, I'm still paying 26 every time I come.
That's
So, like,
so much.
and I come here like 3-4 times a month now, so that adds up.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I've taken the bus from Long Beach because I don't want to
It's
pay the
cheaper.
$35.
It's cheaper.
Yeah, it is. It's
really is.
$3.
And just pretend you're on the Disney tram, just put on the audio, and just be
Yes.
like, oh, Mickey and friends. You're like, I'm gonna get there.
I can't ride the train, so I might as well ride the bus.
Honestly, at that point, oh my God.
Look at pictures of dinosaurs.
Just have a ride through on your phone with the audio.
Just
And-
put it on the window, be like, just wait at the front. Yeah, the Grand
Honestly,
Canyon.
I'm that broke. I might as well.
You know what? I respect that. I should do that. You know, that's a good tip. Well, I'm gonna put that on my story. Take a photo.
That is a good tip. That is really a good tip. Like I think that a lot of times we forget about public transportation.
Oh, I'm a huge advocate. I need to take it more often, but I don't. I walk more than take public transportation, I guess.
You live in a very walkable area, which is super nice.
I'm very, very lucky. There's not that many, unfortunately. Maybe we should digress. Oh, maybe
Tim
one
got
last,
to try a new snack.
yeah, I was gonna say one last piece of news.
Oh yeah, the Fantasyland like Crunchwrap Supreme thing they have. I don't know what they put in that, but that thing is amazing.
It was
I know I
good?
can make it at home, but they have 3 kinds. They have the hamburger, the chicken, and the spicy chicken,
Ooh,
and a vegan one actually too,
Ooh.
wow.
with quinoa and like cream lime aioli or something like that. So
That actually sounds really good.
Which
and
one did you
red-
get?
I got the hamburger one because I just went to Costco and I bought chicken nuggets, like spicy nuggets. So I'm like, I don't need more nuggets in my life at the moment. I was like, and then they have a new salted caramel butter cake sundae. Well,
Ooh, that sounds delicious.
dude, you guys should come to Disneyland soon.
Oh, I'll be there on the 8th. So.
Oh, same.
Oh, really? Oh,
You guys have to meet up.
I will. I'll be mainly at downtown Disney, but we can meet up. I'd love to meet up with you guys, like, and show you all the disability tricks. I'm just kidding. I just really want to see you. No, but it'll be fun. Yeah, we'll plan something then.
yeah, that'd be super cool. I'm there for my cousin's birthday, but I'm going to be, I think, fifth wheeling, so
5 wheels is good. So you know,
I'm not mad about it.
But 6 is better.
even numbers are. I'm like, happy birthday! Can I tag along?
Yeah, please. I was looking up what the Crunchwrap thing was. Is it the flatbread, or is that something else?
No, it's supposed to feel like it's like I don't know
I
if
think
it's
it's called like a foldover,
it's something like that. It's kind of like they use the language to make it more like
so that it's
Fun,
not
I
straight up
guess.
Taco Bell.
yeah. Everyone's like, "Oh, Crunchwrap Supreme."
Yeah.
Okay, I'll find it later, but that sounds very cool. I'd like to try that.
I think they release it at 3 p.m. every day because it's like dinner time or like something. Because I looked at like 2:30 and they only had the pizza and the flatbread and stuff.
Uh-huh.
So I think you have to wait until like 4 o'clock for it to be like dinner time in Disney time.
Okay.
Yeah.
To like see it on the app or whatever. Okay. Good to know. I need two stomachs when I go to Disneyland.
Oh my god, my wallet always dies. My bank account is like. One time I was here and Bank of America was like, "Hey, you good? Someone's been using your card a lot at Disneyland." I'm like, "That's me." They're like, "Oh my god, I'm sorry."
They're like, you have a problem.
I'm like, "You bought 2 turkey legs?" What happened?
What happened? I need a Disney Visa.
I'm just like double. I'm like, I don't know. That wasn't me.
The bank FaceTimes you.
Yeah.
Is he red-handed?
I don't know. I'm sorry. Oh my god.
Okay, Tim. So we are really excited to learn a little bit more about you. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, well, my name's Tim. As you said, I only have my Instagram account Wheels on Main, but it's mainly to help people with accessibility and to show them the queues and how everything works at Disneyland, especially with the whole DAS system changing. Or it changed, and then a lot of people didn't know what happened. I was like, I kind of want to help people out, even if it's like 1 or 2 people that would be helped with this. I just wanted to make a difference when people come here, they're not stressed out. So yeah,
That's awesome.
I'm sure it's a huge help because it is not a clear system.
it really, especially for me who's had a disability my whole life, I'm like, even I got confused, and then I got rejected from the system already too. So I'm like, that was my wake up call. Like, maybe I should actually just do something to help people out, because I'm like, this was a headache to deal with.
So that was like your big inspiration to start like your content creation journey.
Yeah, there's like a big, there's a whole like backstory to it. I don't know if you guys want to hear it, but
We do.
okay, so basically, I was sitting on the patio at Main Street, and I was just people watching for like hours.
Oh.
And yeah, and I had like an ice cream in my hand, and there was a family that was sitting next to us. And then I'm like, would you guys want like watch an account that like helps people with like accessibility? Because like I feel like it's such a mess. And they're like, yeah, I would check it out. And then the day after, I was like, oh no, that day I came up with the name. Just on the rocking chair, and I'm like, wheel on something, wheelchair, blah blah blah, and then the wheels on Main popped in my head. I was like, step 1, and the next day, I just made the most low quality video. And I'm like, hey, it's Wheels on Main, and then yeah, so it kind of just happened overnight, and it's really, I did not expect it to blow up as much as it did, because I told my friends, oh, I'm gonna get like 5 people following me, and now it's at 2,735 now.
Such a huge accomplishment.
Thank you, and that's without any sponsorships or ads or anything. Just me boosting it like for like $2, because I'm just like, but it's really grown to something, and I honestly feel really proud of what I've created. But
You should.
yeah, I mean, yeah, so 10,000 here.
Hey,
You'll
we're
be
on
there so
we're on
quickly.
the road, dude. That is amazing. And can I say that is such a good name? Like that is such an elite, like yeah, Wheels on Main, like that. It's so clear
Yeah.
and it's cute, and such a good name, and you have such really, really amazing content. Like
Thank you.
it is really helpful, and it is helping so many people, so many more that you probably don't even realize that it's helping. So you're doing amazing work.
Thank you. That means a lot, actually. Like, just getting like small accolades like that really makes me want to continue with this, even on days where I don't feel like I'm in the right mindset.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, now I have to wait like 60 minutes for a ride, but then I'm like, but it's helping somebody.
Yeah.
So, like, being honest about it is like, some days I come here and I'm like, I don't want to film, you know, I kind of just want to take a nap on the bench. But then we pass by like Fantasyland, and I'm like, I haven't made a video for Snow White and Pinocchio and blah blah blah, and it kind of like a light bulb like slowly lights up, and I'm like, okay, let's go. And then I just jump into it. So yeah.
It sounds like you knowing that, like how much that could potentially help somebody else is really what is motivating you.
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten DMs of people who are like, my son, my dad, people I know need help when they go to Disney, and these videos make us less stressed when we plan a visit now. And I'm like, I honestly did not think of it fully that way. I was like, I'm just gonna show them like how you get in, but the fact that people are like, oh, this helped my dad when he had a stroke and everything, do this and this, and I'm like, oh well, it really just makes the biggest difference knowing that this idea I had is like just helping people out.
Yes,
So, yeah.
and there's probably so much more that people can do that they thought they couldn't do, probably. Like, so many more rides that they thought, like, they would never be able to go on, or this and that for whatever mobility issues they might have. And you're showing them that it's possible and that there are some accommodations, and I think that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it really happened with Finding Nemo. People didn't know there was like a separate room if you couldn't go in the submarine, if you have like any kind of like auditory, like sensory kind of things going on. There's a room where you can just hang out, and then they have a big TV that shows the attraction. And I had no idea that they had that. So
That's really cool.
I mean, even at this point, I'm still realizing like Jungle Cruise has your own boat for a wheelchair. Small World, you get your own boat, and I'm like, oh, that's the best.
Yeah. And then those two attractions specifically, you don't have to transfer, right? You can stay on your
They
device.
just keep you in the little thing, and they turn you and they lower you down, and they're just like, you have your own boat. And I'm like, VIP, but not really.
You are. You
Absolutely.
are. Absolutely VIP.
I saw people last week when I did that Small World, and they were like, oh, who is this guy? And I'm like, I'm just some Filipino guy just like going on this boat in a wheelchair. And I'm like, okay.
You're like,
No.
don't you wish you knew?
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that even I'm still learning about accessibility at the park, but especially at Disneyland, because a lot of the rides were built before ADA was in mind back then. So
So have you always been a fan of Disney, or like when did you become a fan?
I've always been a fan since I can remember. I used to have Disney cassette tapes in my room that I'd blast to high heaven and just listen to when I was a kid. And then that's where I learned how to do Donald Duck's voice and everything, and just randomly in my room. So yeah, it's always been a sense of joy, especially when I used to go 1 or 2 times a year. It was always like a big deal. And now I go 3 times a month, and I'm like, it's crowded again. But yeah, I've always been a fan, especially of the movies. And I mean, getting older and coming here with your friends and getting a drink or something and just hanging out, it's a whole different experience from like as a kid to an adult.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I totally resonate with that.
Yeah. Especially a Magic Key Terrace where you have no time limit and you can just hang out there as long as you want. And I'm like, that's dangerous. Because I want to be here all day.
Is there like anyone in your family that like is your family into Disney at all, or like was there anyone like that kind of got you into it, or was it just kind of you on your own?
I think it was like kind of on my own, but I always had Disney VHS tapes and everything. We had the Disney store back in like Ontario Mills that I used to go to a lot. And it, like when I was a kid, so that really like sparked like my love for Disney, especially when they used to give out like a catalog at the store and you can see what was coming out. I remember just reading that with my mom when she was pushing me in the stroller. I'm like, I don't know what I'm looking at, but I love this. It's like there's so many colors.
Core memories right there.
No, really, I'm like Riley, but with like capitalism.
Oh my gosh.
That's great.
That sounds like such a cool catalog. I'm like, I didn't grow up not that connected to Disney until I got much more into it as an adult. So I'm like so jealous of hearing all of the cool stuff that they used to have back in the day.
I mean, they used to have window displays of animatronics. They used to they really made
In the Disney stores?
Yeah, they used to have animatronics in the windows of like the characters like moving around, doing stuff. Yeah, they had a mountain of like plush toys that you can choose from, like high, like, and then, but you knew if one kid pulled the one on the bottom, that thing would just come tumbling.
It's gonna tumble down.
The retail was like, oh god, they're just like, please don't. But yeah, I've always been a big fan, and even now, like even if I go a lot now, I still love it so much. Like just to people watch and like meet people and just to hang out and give back to the cast members is just one of the things. I always bring a bag of gifts for them, and I buy like Disney merchandise, and I give it to whoever helps us out or whoever is like having an off day. I just find them and I just give them a gift. So.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
you're such a giver.
It's my love language, I guess. So yeah, that's one of the things. I'm a Disney collector, but I realize it's better to give back to them rather than just me like hoarding a bunch of stuff that I know I'm not gonna look at.
Balance, right? You gotta find balance.
Balance, yeah. My bank account hates it, but yeah, balance.
What do you collect?
I collect mainly Disney attraction things, so like
Okay.
replicas of the attractions. They used to have these diecast vehicles of the characters riding the attractions. So Snow White had Dopey and the evil witch on the vehicle, and they came out with like 70 to 100 of them, and I've been trying to collect them all again, but they're so cool. I think each one goes for like $80 now instead of like $5 back then. So yeah.
That's pretty cool, though. I like to collect extinct attraction things.
Yeah. Oh, then you ever get all the Dino Land stuff?
I'm trying.
Trying.
Trying to get me some Dino Land pressed pennies right now.
Oh, nice. That's a good thing to collect. That's really cool.
I have ones from Splash Mountain, but
Oh, last day I wrote it, I was like, I'm like, I need all of these. And they're like, you can't take that money. I'm like, I'm gonna take all of these things.
take all of them. I
Yeah.
sent a coworker to go get them for me because she was already going to be there. I'm like, please, I don't know when they're leaving.
Yeah, I mean, whenever she Splash Mountain stuff, I just need to collect it because I love that ride. And I have the 2 Funko Pops they came out with of like
cool.
him in the log ride, and then the 3-pack, and then a diecast vehicle from back then. And I'm like, this is fun to like look at.
That is fun. Do you have like a favorite film or character?
I love Mary Poppins a lot because I realized as a kid you watch it and you're like, oh, I get this movie, but then when you watch it as an adult, you're like, there's like a deeper meaning to it. Like it's the dad that needs help and not the kid. So I was like, that's really deep. And I just fell in love with that movie as I got older. So I'm like, it's all about change and loving people and everything. So it's like a huge movie that a lot of people are like, I get it, but I mean, the scene where the dad's walking into the bank in the fog and everything, and it's a beautiful scene, which is my favorite from that whole movie.
That's such a good choice. I feel like that movie is really overlooked.
Yeah, I mean, when I went to D23 and they had the Mary Poppins collection, like, it was like untouched. So,
Wow.
I was like kind of sad to see like everyone was flocking like Mr. Toad and like the Star Tours vehicle that cost $600 almost, and I was about to buy it, but I'm like, no, I can't do that. But then yeah, the Mary Poppins stuff, like it was kind of busy, but it was like people were just kind of sleeping on it, which kind of made me sad because it's such a good classic movie.
It's so good, and I wish that there were more films like that where they're integrating like animation and I
Live
guess
action.
yeah. Like I love Roger Rabbit, and like that integration is super cool, and I wish they would do that more because I love it a lot.
I mean, Roger Rabbit, I watched that when I was a kid, and I don't know why I fell in love with it so fast, but it was just such a good movie. And then you look at how they made it, and you're like, oh, that's a lot of work.
That's a lot of
That's
work.
why they don't do the live action animation movies, really, because of how much work it is.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the behind the scenes of that movie and you see like all the technical stuff that goes behind it, you're just like, jeez, like that would take like one day for one scene.
I guess I'm going to have to rewatch Mary Poppins thinking about it. I definitely haven't seen it since I was a kid. I probably couldn't tell you the major plot points, just the songs.
Oh, well, I feel like the plot points are just
Sure.
yeah, in a way. But I mean, if you really want to get a deeper meaning of it, watch Saving Mr. Banks.
Oh,
That,
okay.
yeah, that movie is about the author of the movie and how they made the movie at Walt Disney Studios, and that made me fall in love with Mary Poppins even more because you see why it's how it is.
Oh,
Yeah, so
Can I
Good
tell you
recommendation.
the way that I sobbed in the movie theater watching Saving Mr. Banks?
Really?
Yes, I was there. I saw it with my dad, and when it ended, I was just crying, and I wanted to watch it again. Saving Mr. Banks is such a good film. It's really good. Yeah, they're both incredible movies. But
yeah, I mean the scene. I don't even want to spoil it, but the scene with the author and her dad, and I was like, the first time I watched it, I was like sobbing in the theater, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm like, this is deep. And then the
Yeah.
ending too, like, and you realize how connected you get at the end of the movie with everybody. So
yeah,
I look forward to watching them both.
we're
on
giving
Disney
you
Plus.
some homework, Megan.
Yeah, I guess so.
We'll do a whole episode of Saving Mr. Banks.
Why not?
We can.
So,
Yeah, I was going to say page to screen, but I guess that's not what it would be. But yes. Creation, a movie about creation to movie.
like a biopic, I feel like we're like kind of like yeah.
Good word.
Do you, so when you go to the park, do you go for the rides, the food, or the vibes?
For the vibes.
The vibes.
And when I was younger, definitely the rides. I was always the one that said, we gotta be here all day and go on everything and do whatever. And then as I got older, I'm like, my back hurts, my neck hurts. I'm like,
Truly. That is.
no, and DCA is the place where like I just love to hang out at nighttime and just get a drink and just people watch. Because it's so nice to just chill. And then you get drunk and go on silly symphony and then you freak out.
That sounds
A choice.
so fun. That is
I
right
felt
up
like I
my
was
alley.
flying in space. I was like,
Under the stars.
oh no,
Don't
like
throw up.
my friends and I, we drank a lot one time and we were on a radiator springs. And then I'm like, oh my god, the cars can talk. And then right in, I'm like, what happened?
What fever dream did I just come out of?
Oh my, I heard Owen Wilson.
Love that. Do you have like your favorite like vibey spot or like your favorite place that people watch?
Oh yeah.
I love San Francisco at night.
I love that. Yes.
And then a Hollywood Lounge. Because that's where all like
Huh.
the people come to just drink and hang out and then do whatever. So I just love getting a couch and just watching and just like talking to people. So yeah.
Those couches are a good addition for sure.
Oh, they really are, especially when it's like kind of like sunny and everything, and then you just need a place to lay down. Like I'm advocating to lay down on those couches because, like, I know they've been sat on, but I need a bed after all the food. So you know, that's my go-to.
There you go.
You gotta find a good nap spot.
I do Toontown in the grass, and then last time we did that, Pluto woke us up, and I woke up to his nose right up to mine, and I was like, "What?" And he was like waving to me, and I'm like, "Where am I?" And he was like, "Bye," and I'm like, "Great, thank you for that."
He's like, wakey, wakey, I'm here.
He's like, "You're spreading so much weight." Like, I know I am. I get it.
That's super cute though.
Thank you.
So we talked a little bit about how you decided that you wanted to focus your content on accessibility. In what ways do you think that the park provides accommodations well?
I think even with the changes to DAS, they do have accommodations for a lot of the rides that aren't ADA accessible for the queues. So like Indiana Jones, Space Mountain, all of Fantasyland, at least they give you those choices to make sure that you're able to do some attractions. Some of them you don't have to transfer, some of them you do. And even with the changing of the language they just did this week.
I saw that.
Yeah, and so I think that's a good thing too, so people don't feel too like stonewalled about like feeling like they can't get DAS, even though it is tough nowadays, especially with people with mobility issues,
Yeah.
such as myself, or even with people who have it a lot more. What's the word? A lot more. I don't want to say like brutal, but like a lot more.
Like intense.
Intense. Yeah, intense. Like, yeah. So, but I mean, at least Disney is trying to make people feel a little bit included with the accessibility and how they accommodate. And but at the same time, it is a headache. I knew that I wasn't going to get DAS when that story of that girl who had a tracheotomy tube and everything, and she's like, I got denied, and I'm like, if she got denied and she has a bigger thing like disability than I do, then I'm probably not. And I waited on that phone call for 2.5 hours to see if I was eligible, and then they were like, no. They're like, you can just sit in a wheelchair and just wait in line. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot to be done, but at least they have some ways to help you out at the park, even though it isn't like the best. Like DCA, everything is handicap accessible, like the queues.
Yeah.
So you won't get any like list of rides that actually give you a return time,
Right.
like Disneyland,
Right.
because that park was built more current. So I think that's just one of the things where, like, if you want to do DCA, you're just gonna have to wait in line or buy Lightning Lane, which is a headache and expensive. Because we tried it last week, we only used it on 2 rides, and that was it.
Yeah.
And then, but it was only $15, so I can't complain because of the deal they have.
Okay.
But,
Yeah.
but with a family of 4 that has to pay $36,
A person. Yeah.
yeah, and then for like rides, it's like 23 extra, and I'm like,
Yes.
that's insane.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. So, but I'm just glad there is accessibility in some ways.
Yeah.
But it can be different. It takes a village to really change what they're doing now, but I do my best to enjoy it still, you know, because I have a pass and we all content create, so I can't be like, I'm done with Disneyland, because like that's like my whole so
Yeah.
if I leave Disneyland, it'll just be wheels on LA.
Which is also valid. Hey.
Yeah. I do know I'm gonna have to branch out soon and go to Knott's and do Universal Studios, and because Disney is not the only park, so I feel like I should branch out. But I'll keep the name because I love the name.
I love the name too.
No, it's great. That was kind of part of our goals this year too. As much as we love Disney and love focusing on Disney,
Yeah.
we're excited to branch to other parks as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know Knott's is like ADA is still the same as when I was a kid. Like you go there and you tell them like I have a disability, and then they give you the physical card, and they write down like return times, but then people will take advantage of that, and then they'll pretend or they'll just say whatever to get in. I've seen people do that, and it angers me because I'm just like, people who really need it, they need it, and then you're just saying, oh, let's pretend we have this so we can get it, and I'm just like, it's a headache. But as my friend joked around, they were like, any business for Knott's is good business. And I'm, yeah, you know what, that's true.
That's true.
Yeah, Knott's is just like, you want to have a fight in the park, go ahead. Like, as long as you're paying to get it.
Oh my gosh.
Like, we're still getting your money.
I know that you said that, and you can tell me if you're not familiar with it, but I have a feeling you are. Even though the lines are ADA compliant, or the queues, I should say, are ADA compliant in DCA, what about like the rides themselves? Like how accessible are they as in comparison, I guess, to Disneyland parks?
Oh, for like DCA versus Disneyland?
Mm-hmm.
So for some rides like Toy Story Mania, you actually stay in your mobility device, and they just lock you into your own kind of like vehicle. So they have that kind of like transfer systems. Little Mermaid is like that as well.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of the other rides you do need to transfer
You have
out.
to have the ability to transfer.
Yeah, and they do the whole spiel of can you go up a couple steps? Can you do this? Can you, in case of evacuation, can you walk a certain distance? And yeah, most rides are handicap accessible for the queues,
Mm-hmm.
but when it comes to the actual rides that aren't like platform kind of rides, you might have a bigger issue if you can't transfer out. Because unless they make like a disability vehicle for like a credit coaster, I don't think I'm gonna be staying in my wheelchair. It's like
Sure.
doing it.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool, though.
That would be cool. I'd have to duck down.
Or Guardians, like you and your wheelchair separated.
Bubbling around.
I'll be blocking half the people. No, but you do bring up a good point, Megan, that a lot of the attractions at DCA aren't as handicap accessibly friendly than you would like it to be. Like with Grizzly Rapids, you have to transfer out.
Mhm.
For Goofy Sky Coaster, which is a pain to get into and
It is.
get out of. The whole thing is just pain. That whole ride is just pain.
Yes,
Like,
back
no
pain,
matter what.
neck pain,
Yeah, yeah. It's like God.
rolled around.
Yeah, but some of the rides, like the Golden Zephyr, they have an elevator that you can go up to the level,
Hmm.
but you still have to transfer out. So I think they say it's accessible, but if you can't physically transfer out of your vehicle, then it's kind of tough because you're only able to ride like Little Mermaid or like Toy Story Mania, and that's really it.
If you can't transfer, yeah.
Pretty disappointing. I hope that with these new, I don't know about the Stark Flight Lab, but with Infinity Defense, hopefully that'll bring us another accessible from a wheelchair ride.
I'm pretty sure with everything that's happening with the disability system at Disney, I'm pretty sure the company is probably like having to double down on how can we make this accessible. If
Good.
someone maybe can't transfer, and I can easily see a vehicle like that for the new rides. I mean, the Coco ride is like a boat ride, so I can definitely see like a Jungle Cruise situation or something just with that kind of ride system.
Yeah.
So hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
honestly, no excuses at this point.
Yeah.
They're a fully accessible theme park.
Yeah, I will say though that I think Disney is the best when it does come to accessible queues and everything, because Universal, their queues are kind of like packed a little bit knots. Like you need to actually transfer around a lot. Six Flags, oh god. Don't even get me started on Six Flags. That place is a mess.
Oh no.
Now I know why it's like $10 a month
To go, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. We bought a pass and we went twice, and I'm like, that's it. Like I don't need to go anymore because and their disability system, someone's suing it.
Oh wow.
Really?
And I think they got rid of it, or they kept it kind of quiet because you had to show like you're actually disabled with an app, or like a third-party app, and you had to get your photo on it. You had to get a doctor's note and everything. And people were like, that goes against like ADA laws.
Don't they do that at Universal as well?
I think they do, but I'm not sure if they're really being that strict on it. Because when it started, because I went to Horror Nights and I thought I was gonna get it because I got approved with the app and everything, and we got to guest services, and they said, "Oh well, because you're a certain disability, you can like stand and stuff. You're not going to be accommodated with, even if you're approved." And a lot of people didn't know that this app was happening because it's illegal to be like, "Oh, we're changing the handicap." Like you can't say it out loud. Like you can't post about it. Like the company can't say, "Hey, we're rolling out a new system," because then everybody will try to like beat the system or they'll try to bypass it. So a lot of people came that night not knowing what the disability system was, and they got denied. And they had documentation. They brought their handicap placards, and everyone got denied that night. And because they didn't know about the app.
Wow.
So
That's upsetting.
it's a pretty big mess when it comes to disability. At least Disney does the best they can, I will say,
Mhm.
to help. But these other parts, you're just kind of like on your own. So it's not as big as Disney. So
Right.
a lot of people aren't thinking, oh, how is it different when I go to like Six Flags or something like that.
Those other parks are going to need your videos.
Yeah, we're going for Fan Fest, so I'm probably gonna make some videos for that. And then, but a lot of the rides is Transformers gives me a headache. That ride is, yeah, that's because the technology is so outdated and the graphics
Mm.
that everyone who gets on it like it's a migraine. Yeah, the screen is just so like fuzzy, and you're just like,
I've
oh
been
my
on that one since the first time me and Megan went. I've only been like twice.
don't do it.
Don't do it. Okay. It always has a really long line, so I'm like, meh.
And then people ride it, they're like, that wasn't worth the 1.5 hours I spent.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it usually has a really long line. Yeah.
Yeah.
For I don't know why.
I just wish they brought Back to the Future. I wish they just brought that back. That was a great ride. And they put Simpsons in there, and I'm like, okay.
Which is so bad. I heard a rumor that they might be changing it to Pokemon.
Oh, they'd make so much money if they did that. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
I guess, I mean, it's a rumor, but
I would love an Animal Crossing land if they made Animal Crossing. Like,
Gosh, that would be
shop
so
at Top Nooks and like go to Mabel and Sable. I'm like, I would love that so much.
Oh,
But I
that
mean,
would
they
be
have
so
Nintendo.
much fun.
So I heard like Legend of Zelda might become a thing too at the park. So,
Ooh.
but people are just speculating because they're just like, oh, what's next after Donkey Kong? So, but yeah.
yeah, I guess they opened the like Nintendo Pandora's box, and
Yeah.
it can be hard to close it.
Yeah.
I mean, for FanFest, we're getting Yoshi for the first time, so I'm like, oh, cool. Like, that's gonna be fun. Yeah. So I'm like, hell yeah, I want Yoshi.
Did you go on the new Super Mario ride?
I did actually, yeah.
How was that accessibility wise?
It was kind of simple. I mean, they have the line, and it's a pretty spacious queue in some points.
Okay.
It does get packed, especially as you go deeper into the ride.
Mhm.
But it's basically you get to, they put you in an elevator and you go downstairs to the loading dock, and then you actually transfer onto the vehicle. And I will say the space to get in, to like get your seat in the vehicle, it was kind of tough for me because I need to like, I have cerebral palsy, so when I walk, it's like kind of like crooked kind of walking.
Mhm.
So for me, I really had to like kind of like twist my way, no pun intended, to get into the vehicle. So, but it was a pretty easily accessible ride. I think they really thought about what they needed to change, especially with rides like Simpsons or The Mummy or something outdated like that. So I think they did their best to be sure to be like, okay, let's not overstimulate somebody with everything happening in the ride. So you do get a moment of like by yourself when you're gonna go on the ride. So that was nice to see, to experience it.
Going back to Disneyland a little bit, I know you recently made a post about it, but I was wondering if you wanted to talk a little bit about Haunted Mansion.
Oh,
And their new because I have some mobility issues myself. I don't talk about it super frequently, but I was born with some issues with my legs and feet, and I've had a lot of surgery. So sometimes I will go ahead and use a wheelchair at the park, especially if it's like my second or third day and I'm in a lot of pain. And I, for my mobility needs, I didn't feel like I had much difficulty with Haunted Mansion initially. Like I didn't have it wasn't too hard for me to at least get through like the elevator room and get onto the attraction. But I kind of wanted to hear your perspective on like the before and after, what you think.
well, I think before with the whole, like they put you in the elevator and then you go in the hallway and they make you go to like that chain area kind of by the window.
Yeah.
And do that. That was good because that hallway would get like packed
Yes.
when they were like whenever they were at capacity and they were like stuck. So that was good. Getting on the ride, they did the usual like, do you want to slow this down? Do you want to do that? And that was good. And then they'd have you see in the dune buggy or dune buggy, if I want to be technical about it, until you get back to the loading area, and then you just go back up the stretching room, which I thought was a really cool feature.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't get to see that, but at the same time, I can see why that would be tedious at times to do.
Yeah.
Especially when there was a lot of people and they cramped you in the elevator, and then the people would come in, and then you'd have to wait for them. Then you'd have to leave after they pack the elevator. So I can see, excuse me, how that would be an issue if someone's not good with crowds or tight spaces, because the elevator used to get like packed, and then people would almost step over you or like accidentally like hit you.
Yes.
And so that was the before. And as much as I miss hearing that elevator creaking as it went back to reset, I think the new way is spectacular. I think it takes so much stress out of getting back to the park. It's immersive. The thunder and the lightning. I was so surprised with that, and they decorated it so well. They did. With new paintings of ghosts and everything, and the elevator still keeps you with the bride talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I was so surprised. I should have kept it in the video, but I was trying to keep it like a minute 30 to keep the licensed music. So I was like, okay, everyone's having a good time, bye. I'm like, I never got to show that, but there was that part, and I mean, the ghost host laughing when you're leaving, which you didn't have to do. You could have just left by yourself. I think the only gripe that I have about the new way getting out is if you're by yourself, there's no cast member to help you to open the door to New Orleans Square. So you get out of the elevator, and then there's the big door to get you back out to the side of the mansion. But there's no one there. So if you're by yourself, you're really just struggling to like wheel yourself and like
try to get
push
the
that door open. Yeah, just a simple task of getting out. Thankfully, I had somebody with me who was able to. I think in the video you saw like they opened the door, but other than that, I'm like, if someone's by themselves, this would be really tough to navigate.
I would hope that a cast member would notice that and hopefully tag along for the ride, because I think that when I did it, I think there was a cast member that rode in the elevator with us.
Yeah, it was funny because when we did it, the cast member just showed us down the hallway, and he's like, press P whatever to get back up, and then that was it. And so I was like, because someone was commented on my post, and they're like, when I did it, no one helped me with the door, and I'm like, maybe I should just bring it up to one of the cast members and let them know, like maybe today, because I'm here at Disneyland today, and be like, maybe you can get someone to like go with your party in the elevator and then come back. But then I would see how that would take a long time to just keep going up and down, and it would just be a lot of work. But I mean, I think it is crucial to.
I think it's important. Yeah. I do think that would probably be like tedious for someone, but they rotate their positions all day long, so I feel like that should be manageable.
But also, why didn't they put in like a automatic open door, like a push button door, like they have at like malls?
Yeah, that's such a good point, Megan.
It just sounds like an oversight. Like why wouldn't the door be accessible, but everything else is?
Because that door looks like it can be automatic. Because it's a big door, like it's big. So like when we got out of the elevator, I'm like, okay, like we got your door. I'm like, okay, like how do we get out? And then I'm like, oh, we have to physically push it. I was like, what happened? I'm like, this was such a good experience. And then we get to the end, and like I'm like, wait, I need to like back up. I need to open it, not get hit by the door.
Yeah.
Like, and then so if you're by yourself, it can become a lawsuit, like a liability.
Yeah, you could get hurt.
So hopefully something changes. Well, we can say something, but yeah, I mean, you bring up a good point, Megan. That definitely could have been such an easy change of like automatic or something, but nope, you have to physically open that heavy door to get out. So, what did they want us to be like the 1,000 ghosts or something? I'm like, Jesus.
Summon them. They're already around.
Yeah, they're just like, come on, come back up the elevator. No, but yeah, but overall, the new experience, I just love that they put so much thought into the design.
Yeah, I liked that as
Yeah.
well.
But other than that, I'm just like with the door. I hope they change it or they do some accommodation for that because it is frustrating when you don't have anybody with you. And you're just kind of like, how do I get out of here? So
It's like unnecessarily difficult.
I mean, that's how it is at the Finding Nemo ride. It's just a door, like a regular door, and you have to open it by yourself if you don't have anybody. So I think Disney's never really thought about it in that sense. Like if you're by yourself, usually there's a cast member. Like Finding Nemo, they have a light that goes the green to red when like you finish the attraction, and then they'll come in and be like, "Yeah, okay, you're done. Like you can leave." But then Haunted Mansion, you're like literally by yourself when you go up that elevator, unless someone does come with you, like you brought up Shine.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's just kind of like they gave us an elevator, but no automatic door, and I'm like, I don't know why.
It's kind of like it's kind of like they gave us a door with a lock and didn't give us the key.
They're like, get out. I'm like, you had your fun, get out now. I'm like, oh, I can't push it, but yeah. But I honestly, out of like 5 wheels, I would give that experience like 4.5.
All right.
I love that rating system.
I love that rating
I
system.
tried to incorporate that more into my videos, but I always forget. And I'm like, thanks so much for watching. Bye. I'm like, what? Oh my God. Oh my God.
That is the best rating system ever. 5 wheels.
Thank
That's
you.
amazing.
I was thinking if I get like a good following of people who want to do like a fan base, I could call them like the wheel deal, like the real deal.
Oh, we are your wheel deal.
Wheel deal.
Okay,
There you go.
that is us. If you have
First
to,
official wheel
they are
deals.
us.
I mean, Megan is going to be the 5th wheel in a couple.
This is it's true.
See, it's all full circle. See, you guys are officially the tier 1st wheel.
Yes.
There you go. January 31st. We did it.
We did it.
Sure, yeah.
I love it so much.
Like, no, but yeah, overall, Haunted Mansion though is. I hope they really do that for new attractions
Yeah.
because it really does make you feel like you're still a part of like the experience instead of like going up the old elevator and like just feeling like you're like being unloaded into like a storage or something. Like
Mhm.
it just felt like that. Like you were just like, okay, bye. So at least there's some immersiveness when it comes to that.
What I mean, we've kind of been talking about it, but what attractions or experiences at the park stand out to you as being like the best for somebody with accessibility needs?
I would say Jungle Cruise and Small World at Disneyland
Mm-hmm.
because you don't have the transfer out. It's easily they just put the ramp out for you and they lock you in and that's it. Like you don't really have to worry about it. Other rides you do have to transfer, but I think if you have someone with a severe disability who can't move on their own and you need the system, then those kinds of rides are the best. Like Toy Story Mania, like they help you out, but your party does have to go in before you on Toy Story and Little Mermaid because they have to lock you in and then close the vehicle. But then there's always cast members there to help you out, and they stop the conveyor belt for Little Mermaid and Toy Story. So I would say the rides where you don't have to transfer out are probably the best ones because I mean even I get stressed out when I'm doing these because I'm just like, oh, what if I fall backwards? I'm like, what if like I do something? But then they're always like really alert, like, okay, do you need anything else? Can we lock you in? Like, where's the brakes? So,
Hey, you know what? I wanted to throw out there the monorail too.
yep, yeah. The monorail, I actually was going to release a video of that next week.
Yeah.
So yeah, we tried to film it the best we could, but with my partner, he was like trying to like push me, and I'm like, well, we can't film this because I'm gonna be like, so it was like a POV, but it's a really good experience. But you just have to watch your head when you're going in,
Yeah.
because yeah, it might you might hit your head on that. So, and the train too. The train is a good one as well, even though they only have the one train. that can actually accommodate someone with a wheelchair,
Uh-huh.
and you do have to wait like maybe 10 minutes. It's just a nice way to be able to feel included.
Yeah.
Because I used to think you have to fold up your wheelchair and like transfer on, take a couple steps, but it's like I think it's a train with a lily bell attached to it.
Okay,
And
that
that's
one.
what it
Gotcha.
recommends. Yeah, so that one's a good one too, as well. Thank you, Shai, for reminding me because I was like, I don't think there's anything else in this, but thank you. Yeah, those ones are I think the best experiences. Other ones you do have to transfer, and it's like so. I do want to be reasonable and understanding and cognizant when I talk about like what's the best accessible for everybody as a whole. Instead of hey, this is good for me. I like to think of it as a community, what would help everybody the most.
Everyone, yeah.
Yeah.
We love those too. Old Jungle Cruise, I should say, on the monorail. Not necessarily Small World, personally.
You're just like, no, I need to.
Like, if I have to.
If it's the only one that's open, then I'll just go home.
Listen, I like Small World, okay? I'm a fan. I never get to ride it because nobody else ever wants to ride it.
I would go on with you. It's my favorite.
But I feel bad making people go on when I know they don't like it.
Their faces are like, oh my god, I
They're
can't.
like, please, no.
I mean, if we had the Tokyo Disney overlay that they just did, people would love to go on it.
Oh,
So-
what did they do?
Yeah. They added Groot to the entire attraction with the Avengers. So,
That's so cool.
yeah, randomly with Thor, like Captain America and stuff, and he's like holding up the sign. And so, but it's for like a couple months, and then people here got livid. They were so mad. They're like, "How dare you face smaller like that?" It's like, then Japan was like, "It's like for 2 months, calm down." It's like, it's
Like,
gonna
let
go
us
back.
have fun. Jeez.
Yeah. But if they did an overlay like that, I feel like that ride would become a lot more popular. But
Yeah.
even the holiday one, everyone's like, Jingle Bell, like for like 20 minutes.
And I'm like, I like it.
Nightmare.
Megan's gonna be like, I'm not going on that. I'll happily go with you, Shy.
Okay.
If we go, yeah. See now you the real deal.
Friend, I'll go.
Wheel deal.
I have a friend
We're the wheel deals.
for the real deal. I need to trademark that.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. For real.
Yeah.
For wheel.
So, for real.
For wheel.
No, for real.
What is something that you wish the general population knew about navigating theme parks with a disability?
I think I would say the thing that I would like to let the public know is that every disability is different. And I think a lot of people only think about a mobility, kind of like a physical disability, where they're like, oh, they just want to get to the front of the line. But it's a lot more than that. It's people who can't handle tight spaces, crowds, loud noises. It's a whole plethora of people who are affected by whatever disability they have. And I think people should be more considerate and understanding when we complain about this stuff, because it's a big deal, especially for families who are dealing with a lot more severe disabilities. And it's not just like, I mean, me, who's like, oh my god, now I can't go on a ride like faster than with DAS now. I mean, that's just a selfish part of me saying that. But then other disabilities, they have to factor in so many other things. So I would just let the public know that we're all dealing with different ways to navigate theme parks, and people just want to be included into things, and it's tough to do that sometimes when you have to think about like 50 things happening all at once, and the parks aren't up being accommodating to you as much. So I think people just need to be more understanding and just take a break on all the negativity. Like, a lot of people just like to complain about like how people with disabilities want to get on the ride first. I'm like, it's not even that. It's just we didn't ask to like have a disability.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're dealing with this as we go. I mean, I was born with cerebral palsy my whole life, so this is my normal. and I totally get it, and I'm able to navigate it. But like, I didn't ask for this.
Right.
But people have asked me, would you change your disability, like if you can feel it? And I'd say no, because this is what makes me me.
Yeah.
It's what led me to be here with you guys and like at Disneyland to help people.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's a whole thing of just. I know I'm just rambling right now, but
No, not at all. This is
no, but
so important.
yeah, because I never thought I'd be a spokesperson for anybody with a disability. Like I'm just me. I've had CP my whole life, and I'm just living my life. But then I realized there's a much bigger picture where people might need help understanding what cerebral palsy is and
Yeah.
what disabilities are like living a normal life. Because people unfortunately just see it as, oh, they just want an easier way to get around the theme park. So I'm like, okay, yeah, one, that's one, but two, we need help.
Yeah.
Like, I'm prideful, I will admit, when I get hurt and I want to be like independent.
Right.
But then at some point in my life, I have to be like, no, I do need help.
Yeah.
And I do. Like, I used to be able to walk around Disneyland, no problem. Like when I was a kid, but as I've gotten older, like I can't even walk the main street to Toontown without me being in pain.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So people need to factor that in and just understand we're just all trying to live our life. And with the parks making it as difficult as it is, yeah, I'm gonna blast Disneyland for doing this to a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
who have disabilities who, yeah, we can sit in a wheelchair and we can wait. But at the same time, that's not the full picture. It's like people need a way to be able to stay out of a line if they have like IBS or something.
Yeah.
Something that would make them like unable to stay in a line for too long. But it's just, yeah. I mean, kindness goes a long way. Understanding goes a long way. And I mean, we're all here to have fun and to relax. And some people don't understand that. A lot of people think we're selfish and we just want to have like dibs on everything. And I'm like, oh yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, I did love the old system where I'm like, oh, I don't have to go in the long line. I can like do this. But people don't understand it with the old DAS system. I still had to wait an hour and a half almost for a ride.
Mm-hmm.
I just had to.
You just weren't physically in the queue.
Yeah, I just physically wasn't in the queue, but my friends and I would have to wait about an hour to go on the ride. So it wasn't like a free pass to be like, hey, we're better than you. No, it was like we sit on a bench, we do something else, and then we come back.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you end up having to wait longer than the people that are in the queues because you're waiting whatever the posted wait time is, which isn't always accurate. And then you redeem like your return time. And then a lot of times you're waiting even longer for like the appropriate vehicle to come back. And so you end up waiting, or you ended up waiting a lot of times longer than, thank you. A lot of times longer than the general population, and I don't even think people realize that.
Space Mountain, especially, like we wanted to go on Space Mountain last week, and it was like 7, and they're like, come back at 10:30 p.m. And I'm like, I am not waiting 3 hours and 30 minutes to get on Space Mountain.
It's probably like a 45-minute wait too.
So yeah, I think a lot of people don't realize that the old system wasn't a way for us to cheat or a way onto a ride. It was to wait like everybody else in a different setting because
it was. I thought it was an appropriate accommodation, but I know a lot of people took advantage of the system. But I don't think that I think you would have less of that if they did continue to offer like the free fast pass service that they used to have.
Oh no, yeah. I mean, the fact that they did this whole change to DAS and they're like, oh, you can buy Lightning Lane. I'm like, that's so stupid. It's like it's not even because I'm disabled or something, but it's just the fact that you're gonna nickel and dime everybody to get on a ride faster.
Yeah,
it was a headache getting a fast pass for like Guardians. I remember when it opened and running to the machine.
Yeah,
and then they run. You'd be like, oh my god.
But that was like fun, you know. It was like part of it.
It was part of it. It was
like a lottery, and I mean, Like I still have a Fast Pass in Splash Mountain back then. So yeah,
Nice.
it's such a nice memory to have. But like, yeah, I mean, the good point that you bring up, Shy, is the fact that fast passes used to be a thing, and now you got to pay 36 plus to just get an accommodation. That doesn't even help a lot.
Yeah.
Like I went on 2 rides last week with it,
Yeah.
and I'm like, that's it. And I'm like, jeez. But yeah, I know I rambled a lot.
Not
But
at all.
no, my friends tell me I have the gift of gab. I can talk to you for hours and not even realize it, and then it's just I'll keep you up until like 5 a.m. and I'm like, oh my bad, I gotta get.
No, that's good. I just wanted to touch on something that you said, like
Yeah.
that you wouldn't change yourself, because I think that that is such an important thing to highlight, is that there's somebody with disabilities, there's not something wrong with them. There's something wrong with the system that wasn't made for them.
Yeah.
Like the reason that we have these difficulties and we have these gripes with Disneyland and all these other parks is because of course they're trying to adhere to like the greater population, right? But when thinking about people so generally, you're missing so many things in the process. You're not considering so much of the population at the same time,
Right.
and there's truly, I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah, I mean, I've always thought that way that I wouldn't change. It's about me because it's unique. Like, yeah, a lot of people look at the way I walk and I hate it. I'll be honest. There's always eyes looking down. I'm like, hey, my eyes are up here. But it's like that kind of thinking where I need to find a way to laugh about it and to navigate this as I get older, especially because it's really tough just having to deal with a disability and having to live with it, especially because you see life through a different lens. Like you get more compassion, you get more empathy for people that I feel like you wouldn't get a lot if you didn't have one. And that's just my personal viewpoint because that's how I've lived my life. And everybody I meet, I make sure to let them know that they're worthy of loving and worthy of being loved. Because I think that is important because some people don't hear that a lot.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, with the disability, it does bring challenges, but it also brings a certain kind of peace
Mm.
that you kind of look at life more precious than some other people might not think about how to do it. And there's a loud trash can. Maybe that's a sign that no, but no, I just wanted to share that because yeah, I mean, as Megan, you were saying, like, there's a lot of things that people don't think about, and the fact that we have to defend ourselves a lot, that we don't want special treatment, but we need to be accommodated. But people don't get that. They just think we're being selfish. Like when the DAS system changed, everyone complaining. Everyone's like, "Oh, you just want to get to the front of the line." I'm like, "No, I just want to be able to enjoy this like how everybody else enjoys
Right.
it, without
Exactly.
having to jump through a hoop."
Exactly.
So, but yeah, but
And I think that the changes in DAS really it opened my eyes, at least, to a lot of other issues that people come to the park dealing with, as far as, you know, like PTSD, IBS, like you mentioned earlier, um, uh, like I mean, cancer patients that are not even being allowed to get the pass now because they may not have like a cognitive disability, and they were being so strict about that. And that just seems like such a lack of kindness and
Yeah.
understanding on Disney's part. And I know it will change. I know that it won't be like this forever. And just like you were mentioning how they recently changed a little bit of their wording, I hope that in that change they're also going to be changing how they are allowing people to have accessibility services in the park.
yeah, I can only just hope and just wait Because as of now, I'm just kind of like going through what everyone else is going through, trying to navigate everything.
Yeah.
And like, I'll be honest, I'm not an expert when it comes to accessibility. I created this account 5 months ago, and I was like, let's just try something, and it's become what it's become.
Wow, I
But-
didn't realize it's been that recent that you created the account.
Yeah, August, I believe, was my first post, and
Amazing.
people are just really surprised I've reached 2,700 people already. Like,
Yes.
and I'm like, but I just don't. I just like to be humble about it. I do know I should have some pride about it, but also I'm like, oh, 2,700, I can't wait. Oh, my 5,000 next. No, but it really does. It's just, yeah, I'm not an expert on it, but the fact that we're all trying to make a change, especially with you guys having this podcast and having people on to talk about the disability system and everything. Because I know you did an episode a little while ago where you talked about DAS, and I actually listened to that episode as well. And I was like, hey, good on you guys for really being an advocate for this, because I think this gets swept under the rug a lot because people are like, it's the same old thing. Like, they just want to talk about the same old thing. But I mean, with people like you guys are really helping out the disability community more than you think. So, thank you for that.
So thank you for all that you do for the community as well, Tim.
I appreciate that. Thank you. It means a lot that, I mean, you guys reached out and wanted to do this podcast with me, and like I audibly screamed when I got when I got the message. I'll be honest. I mean, I was like, I remember reading. I'm like, I was like, oh my god. And then I told all my friends. I'm like, oh my god, look, I'm getting noticed now. And so, yeah, I mean, it's been a lot. It's been a fun experience, and I can't wait to see what happens next. But honestly, you two have really made my year just wanting to do this. So I really appreciate and getting to know you guys. It's been such a pleasure, and just to talk to you virtually and to discuss disability and accessibility and like all things Disney. It just means a lot. So on behalf of the whole disabled community, thank you, Megan and Shine, for helping us navigate this as well. So yeah.
I'm not crying.
Don't cry. This is happy. I get it. I'm nodding, by the way, but it's like pitch black. Here, maybe if I do like, can you give me? My friend's gonna give me some light. Oh God. There you go. Sorry. I've been nodding the whole time. But yeah, okay, good. Thanks. But yeah, I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for giving me a platform to talk about this. And thankfully, it's longer than 1 minute and 30 seconds, which all my videos are about that length because Instagram's weird about boosting videos that are longer than 90 seconds, which annoys me because I have so much to say, but then I can't say it fully in a video. So thank you for giving me this platform, and it's been such a pleasure getting to know you guys. Like, seriously, like, you two have really kind and gentle souls, and you guys bring joy to the community and everything, and, you know, that's the greatest gift you can give to somebody. So I wish you guys the most success in your podcast, and I can't wait to be back on because
yes,
I want to be. No, that was my little plug to be like, I want to be back on the podcast.
No, please. This has been so much fun. We were so looking forward to it. I think we like started around the same time, and like content creation, this podcast, your platform, and so it's been fun. We're like all growing together, which is really awesome.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, when I first started, I'm like, maybe I should get to know like big name creators, but then I realized instead of trying to fit in and jump into all this big group of people, I need to open my own door and meet my own people instead of trying to fit in when I can just be myself.
Yeah,
so,
we feel that.
And it's led me to you guys. So, you know, I feel so blessed and honored that you guys just wanted to talk to me. So, I mean, yeah.
We feel the same that you were willing to come on and beyond willing that you were excited to come on is amazing to us. So we're so thankful that you were willing to have this conversation with us, and it for sure will not be the last time. We will have to meet up in person. Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe do like a trip report or something together. That would be really
my gosh.
fun. The options are endless. So we will have you back on the we'd love to have you back on the show.
Oh, please do. I'll make time anytime for you guys. Honestly, like I'll take anytime you ask me. I'll do whatever I can to like talk to you guys. So
Thank you,
yeah.
Tim.
We're your wheel deal, so
We are the
You guys
real
are the two
deals.
first wheels. So I'm making that official tonight. Like you guys are first official wheel deals.
We love
oh my
it.
gosh,
Oh.
that's so exciting.
But it's been great talking to you guys. My laptop is actually gonna die in a minute.
Oh, it's a great timing. Good timing,
No,
for sure.
yeah, but I just didn't want to like cut off at the end. Like, hey, just like, okay, well, I guess you went to go get that Crunch Wrap Supreme.
Totally.
But then, yeah, but I'll keep in touch with you guys, and it's been such a pleasure. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
We'll
you.
keep in touch and we'll talk soon.
Sounds good. Have a good night, you guys. Thank you.
Thanks.
Me
You
too.
too.
So thankful that Tim could be with us today and share all of his knowledge and experience and feelings, because that is so important. I think we definitely pressed that for sure. Thank you so much for listening. We post new content every Saturday, so please follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever else you listen so you never miss an episode.
And don't forget to review and rate us 5 stars, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Magical Happy Hour podcast, as well as wheels_on_main on Instagram.
Yeah,
Megan,
don't forget to follow Tim.
where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Megan Creedon. Yeah, Shai, where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram and on TikTok at Disney Obsessed Nurse. And if you're interested in having a professional travel agent that specializes in Disney and Universal Studios, plan your next vacation. You can find the link to my website in our podcast notes, or email me at Cheyenne, SHYANNE, at vincentvacations.com. And we'll see you guys next week.
Cheers.
Cheers.